Ladies and gentlemen, racers, fans, and friends around the world, tonight we do things a little different, because tonight isn't about Knuckleheadz racing. It's not about the cars or the checkered flag. It's not even about the drivers strapped in, ready to battle. Tonight, it's about one man, a legend with a microphone, the voice that brought dirt track racing to life. Bob or Nathan, as some call him, our mate from the land down under. For years, Bob has been the heartbeat of these races, calling every lap, every slide job, every heart-stopping moment. And when he's not on the mic, well, we imagine him chasing snakes through the outback, boxing kangaroos, or just sitting under a gum tree with a cup of tea and some fairy bread with sprinkles. He's got the accent that keeps us guessing, the words that make us laugh, and the passion that makes him family, Bob. Tonight, this is your night. This one's for you. He's the man with the mic from the land of the sun, where the kangaroos jump and the wild runs. From the bush to the booth, he brought the heat, calling dirt track battles from seat to seat. Here's to Bob, yeah, the voice we all know, calling every slide, every high side show, from Australia's dust to our hometown clay. Bob, tonight this is your day. Fairy bread dreams and a slang so sweet, he'll make you laugh right out of your seat. Maybe boxing kangaroos or chasing snakes, but when he's on the mic, man, the earth shakes. Here's to Bob, yeah, the voice we all know, calling every slide, every high side show, from Australia's dust to our hometown clay. Bob, tonight this is your day. Every lap, every cheer, every turn in the night, you gave dirt track racing its soul, its light. Not just a friend, your family too. Bob, this song.
Alright, BobbethTV is live, and I think I just popped on air. I'm sorry, I thought I was muted, and then I went to unmute. I was already unmuted. BobbethTV is live, you know what that means. We've got another episode of Mud Mule TV coming your way. It's the start of the racing week for the Knuckleheadz iRacing League. Get ready for our first of two races here today to start off the Sunday night US, Monday morning Australian racing week. Let's get some info up on the screen there, Bob. Oh shit. Cough a bit going on. I'm all congested and stuff today. But we're here, Knuckleheadz iRacing League's dirt street stocks at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. That's right, we're at FAPA at I-55. Pevely, USA for the Reece Monument dirt street stocks. They're currently in practice, and we'll get down to the track and have a look. I think we've got about 15 cars registered for today's race. All 15 cars have been out the track here today, so Chad put a well quick time with a 13.822, 13.833, sorry, Taris McDonald, Josh Roberts and Chris Dandridge, 13.875 and 876 for third and fourth. Top five of speed at the time, sorry, 13.924, but pretty close behind him. Brian Angel with a 13.931, 13.935 for Jonathan Foxworth, and a 13.940 for Mikey Mixed, at 13.995 and 14.031 for Callum McKellen and Dawson Potter. Not far behind that, 14.038 for Wayne Bridges, 14.040 Brett Vanderwood, 14.248 for Dan Runkle, the milkman out there. Mike Davis, 14.313 and 14.375 for Lewis Catalan. Welcome in, Dan Runkle, I-55, let's effing go. No, I can say fuck. I can say fuck. Sorry, PG, sorry if there's kids watching. Oh, but yeah, no, hey, fudge. Let's fudge and go, just in case. We don't know the age of the audience. I apologise. Get a bit excited there. Alright. Cut there is. We're going to drink a bit got a coffee, but it's so fucking strong. Freaking strong, man. Casually swearing already. That's your fault, Dan. If you're listening. Don't you swear. This is day 6, I believe, of Bob being home alone. Partner took off to the another state for a couple of days, for about a week and a bit, or just under a week. Go watch Metallica. She's back tonight, but mate, if you tried to run a household yourself, it is not easy. Live in this little gaming room, I think, from now on. Oh. Looks like a lot of the time's almost a full second slower than the quick time. Let's have a little drink. Ah, that's better. Whew. How are we all today? Have we had a great weekend? Get up to much? If you're not usually in the chat, say hello. Jump in. Say g'day. Someone to talk to. Especially if you're lurking as well. I know there's a few lurkers that come and go from time to time. OP, Griff, a few of the others. Say hello. George Potter with the like. Good luck out there, brother. 2 wins over the last 2 weeks. Can he pick up another win this week? We'll have to wait and see. But we've put the pressure on him and we've told him he has to. But we'll see how he goes. Currently 10th quickest, 14.031, a little under 5/10 of a second off his normal time there with a 14.529 last lap. Contact there, Travis from Bill Wayne Bridges in practice, nothing crazy. Excuse me. Oh, qualifying has started. Josh Roberts, thank you for the like. Good luck out there, brother. As it will. Qualifying is up. Alan Hunt, Kellen McKellen, Mikey Mixter, Wayne Bridges, Brian Angel out there. Chris Andrews, quick time already, 14.284. 14.753 for Mikey Mixter, Wayne Bridges on our screens. There is the 7 of Brian Angel. Kellen McKellen slides in between Chris Andrews and Mikey Mixter. So does Alan Hunt. Oh, the 000 Dan Arunkel always has some nice looking cars. Says, I'm just going to send it on the front and the back. That is a great plan. Cristiano still quick time with 14.284. 14.442 to Kellen Allen Hunt, 14.490. So Dan Arunkel's going to come in just under top 10 in 9th. The quickest with a 14.866. Jay Putabol 14.870 just behind him. Cars registered, 12 have qualified so far. Chad Putabol gets himself up into second, 14.382, which is Kellen McKellen's 14.442 back to third. Chris Andrews still got quick time with a 14.284. Dan Runkle's laps finished 14.830 top 10 time. There's Jonathan Foxworth, the B-Main Bandit. Oh. 14.783. Looks like his time. There's Mike Davis, Mad Dog himself. My beautiful face up on the roof of his car. He is running 7th, quickest 14.538. There's the 8 of Brett Vanderwood. About 20 seconds of qualifying and left to go, so I'd say the boy's just rolling out the time. Mike's probably just going to park the car in the pits, wrap up his little run. There's his pit crew right there, third stall. Mudmill TV, beautiful Mudmill TV logo. Thank you so much for the support, Chris Standridge. Can someone get security down to the pits? Chris Standridge is doing a burnout in the pit area. There we go. Fix that up. All right, let's get over to our heat racing. It's going to be Chris Standridge and Alan Hunt on the front row. Mike Davis and Jonathan Foxworth on that second row. Yoda Outlaws teammate Brett Vanderwood on that third and final row. Cams, keep up, keep up. Another time around the track. The start-finish line on the north side of the track, generally on the south side of the track for most races, but up here on the north side. So into 1 and 2 here, backstretch down the bottom of the track, into 3 and 4 for the final time. We'll get this one underway. Goes, pace truck off the track. We're going to get this one started. Yeah, start again. Just static until we get the race going. Chris Standridge, Alan Hunt up the front. It's going to be Mike Davis and Jonathan Foxworth just behind him. Brett Vanderwood in that 5th place. Very tightly packed, which is often going to be the case for a Heat 1 race. The track is very tacky. It's going to be follow the leader. It's not going to be a lot in it. Chris, more often than not, will start. We'll let the flag man start the race, so there's no real advantage for pole position. Doesn't really jump the start. So Mike Davis, though, managed to get himself around. Alan Hunt moves him back to third. Mike up to second. Chris still at race. Oh, Jonathan Foxworth gets into the rear of Alan Hunt and turns him around. But 4 or 5, we're going to have ourselves a green-white checkered finish for this Heat 1 race. It'll extend out by a few laps. Yeah, notifications going crazy over here. Kelly McKellen and Dan Runkle, thanks for the shares. Also, thanks for the like, Dan. Appreciate it. Regal Wraps and Designs did my wrap. Got another new one coming for next week. I really like today's one. We'll highlight it again in the heats. But yeah, mobile. Red, white, blue. Looks very good. I hope that's the one it's intended to be, Dan. My new office chair came today, but I realised it about 5 minutes before I was due to go live, so I didn't have time to put it together, so I've still got my really uncomfy seat. Oh, caution out, Bob, we need to get up to the leader. There we go. Finish that coffee. Two coffees actually, that's my second one for the morning. Woke up at about 10:25 think to my alarm, because the races used to start at 10:30 my time, and now it's an hour later, so it's not so bad. I've got an hour. But, geez, I panicked. I panicked when I woke up this morning and thought, oh my God, it's Monday. We've got races today. I thought it was Sunday. I was just going to sleep until lunchtime. I'm glad I double checked, because here we are. All right, it's going to be lap 8 and 9 when we get this one back underway. Green, white, checkered finish, green flag lap to get the speed, white flag lap to finish the heat race off. Make that 9 and 10. So Chris, Mike Davis, Brett Vanderwood, Jonathan Foxworth, Alan Hunt, same order as they lined up in. Will it be the same order they finish as we get the white flag? We will have a heat 1 finish here this lap. Chris has got the Wounded Warrior Project on the front there. That is such a great cause. We've worked with them in the past with other racing leagues. Wounded Warrior Veterans Service as well, WWVS. Some great crews. All right, let's get to, oh, we want results, Bob. We want results of Heat 1. All right, Alan Hunt in 5th, B-Main Bandit, Jonathan Foxworth 4th, Yoda Outlaws, Brett Vanderwood in 3rd, Mo Digger Mafia, Mike Davis finished 2nd, but Yoda Outlaws driver Chris Standridge in the winning position. Let's get to the grid of our next race. It's going to be Chad Putterball, Mikey Mixter on that front row. Ryan Angel and Dawson Potter 2nd row. Travis McDonald will be on that 3rd and final row. Let's have a look at the points. The Dirt Street Stocks who won last week, Port Royal. It was, Jim Revis, that's right, he's not here this week. Travis McDonald is our points leader, so Travis will likely be the EOL here tonight. We're off and racing. Chad Putterball, our race leader. Ryan Angel, Travis McDonald, Dawson Potter, Mikey Mixter, the field. That's the Yoda Outlaw on the front of the hood. Brian Angel's car, the 7. What a cool design. I do like that. To make his way up along the inside, though. He's in 2nd place. Brian Angel's in at 3rd. Chad Putterball, our race leader, is Dawson Potter in 4th place. Comes up on that 2-car pack. White flag lap. Chad gets the checkered flag. Travis and Brian Angel going to race their way to that checkered flag with Dawson Potter and Mikey Mixter. Heat 2's results in. Let's have a look. You know, Mikey Mixter in 5th place. KHR's Dawson Potter 4th. Yoda Outlaws Brian Angel in 3rd with Travis McDonald 2nd. Dirt Warrior Racing's Chad Putterball, though, in the Heat 2 victory. Gets that front row start alongside Chris Standridge. Travis McDonald will take the rear of the field. All right, grid for our 3rd and final heat for the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. It is Kelly McKellen and Wayne Bridges on that front row. Lewis Catalan and the Milkman, Dan Runkle, on that 2nd row. 3rd row is going to be Josh Roberts. racing week tomorrow. We've still got the Waynesford Arse Racing Series Asphalt Street Stocks, along with the Schuler Racing Series, and then wrapping up the racing week the day after with the Motorwear International Limited Late Models. Racing week was pretty hectic last week. See if they can keep that up this week with the feature onwards. So far, so good. Catalan can afford to move himself up a little bit on that grid to get a bit of a better start as the race car pace track leaves the track. The race cars themselves will get the green flag. Off we go. Kelly coming up the front. Wayne Bridges up high. He's going to come racing past him, is he? Kelly's going to come down low. Maybe a little mini slider line. No, he's going to stay down low. Looks like Wayne moved down to join him. I would have stayed up high and kept that momentum build, but the 32 of Lewis Catalan in third, the 42 Josh Roberts in fourth, the 000 Dan at Runkle in fifth. I'm saying zero, what? So Lewis just got that run on Wayne Bridges. Wayne's gone back up high. I think he should have stayed up there and be in second by now, but I'm not the race car driver, I'm the broadcaster. I call the race, not drive them. Leave the experts, leave the racing to the experts. So leave the experts to the racing, which kind of would have almost made sense. But lap 4 or 5. What flag lap here upon us? Let's get up to Kelly McKellen's run. He's got a bit of a lead, almost a second lead there on Josh Roberts. As Josh moves past Lewis Catalan for second. Lewis moves back to third. Wayne Bridges currently fourth, and Dan Arunkel still in that fifth spot as we get that checkered flag. Less than half an hour into the broadcast, that is our heat races done for the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks. One more feature race to go before we decide the current round's champion here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway, Fapper at I-55. All right, it is going to be Chris Standridge and Chad Puttable front row, Callum McKellen and Mike Davis second row. Brett Vanderwood's going to promote up to the third row with Josh Roberts. Lewis Catalan and Brian Angel fourth row, fifth row Dawson Potter and Jonathan Foxworth. Sixth row is going to be Alan Hunt and Wayne Bridges. Seventh row Dan Runkle and Mikey Mixter. Travis McDonald will be on that eighth and final row by himself. Excuse me. Boy, that slick came in fast. It did. The heat races sort of looked like it was just going to be tacky and nothing, and then bang, off it went. So feature race is going to be very fun to watch. Off we go. Chris Standridge, Chad Puttable, Mike Davis, Kevin Cullen, Josh Roberts to the 5. Rick Vanderwood, Brian Angel, Lewis Catalan, Dawson at Potter, Allen Hunt at 10, at the 11 to 15, Wayne Bridges, Dan Runkle, Mikey Mixter, Travis McDonald. Looks like Jonathan Foxworth did not make the start, so he's going to come out of the pit. Oh, big crash there. It's coming through 2. So Chris Standridge and Kelly McKellen managed to get out of it, but Kelly might be scored in the race lead. For that restart. So Killer McKellen got into that race lead. Chris did get caught up in a bit of that yellow flag action as we see a number of cars heading on into the pits there. Mike Davis, Chad Puttable. Off we go and racing lap 3 of 35. This is the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks main event. 35 laps, all yellow flag out straight away. Let's see who crashed. Let's see Chad coming out of the pits. Maybe it was just they just competition cautioned it. Someone in the neighbourhood having a bit of an argument because I just heard the doors slam and heard them slam a little bit earlier, a bit of screaming, a bit of excitement here near the studios. Alright, 2 cautions so far right at the start of this 35 lap feature race. Just about 3 laps in. Pace truck's about to leave the track, so we're going to get this one started again. So Chris Sanders, Kelly McKellen, Dawson Poddock, Lewis Catalan, Wayne Bridges, Dan Runkle, Josh Roberts, Brian Angel, Mike Davis, Jonathan Foxworth, Brett Vanderwood, Travis McDonald, Chad Puttable, Alan Hunt, and Mikey Mixter. Keep the static cams for now, just because it does give us a good view of the cars as we get our first green flag lap in. We're at lap 5 of 35 after this restart. Sanders out race and the leader, Dawson Potter in the second, Callum McCallum fell back to third, Lewis Catalan fourth, Wayne Bridges fifth. And cars, that slick coming in a lot quicker than they would expect. There's Dan Runkle, got a bit of a scrape up the side. He's had some banging and bashing in this race already. As he continues to just send it. Flag laps in here. Oh, Alan Hunt looks like he did come unstuck, but he's managed to get it going again. Standards coming up out of 4 as Dan Runkle, not Dan Runkle, sorry, 72. Alan Hunt got to the start-finish line. They're going to race up on him fairly quickly. Oh no, he popped it in the pits, it looks like. Caution has come out though. Track left, single file restart, lap 10 of 35. Kind of Chris Standridge, Dawson, Potter, Kelly McKellen, Wayne Bridges, Lewis Catalan in the top 5 as we come up to the first third of this race. Dan Runkle, Jonathan Foxworth, Josh Roberts, Mike Davis, Travis McDonald for 10, 11 to 15. Mikey Mixter, Brett Vanderwood, Brian Angel, Chad Puttable, Alan Hunt. Lap 15 of 35, almost the halfway mark of this race as we get a bit of green flag racing happening. Chris Standridge still out race, leader Dawson Potter second, Kelly McKellen currently in third. These two battling for fourth and fifth. Lewis Catalan and Wayne Bridges. There's Jonathan Foxworth just behind them. Dan Runkle and Travis McDonald are there as well. We are 18 in, 18, 17, sorry, 2 to go. Halfway mark of this 35 lap feature race. First of 2 races here today. Starting off with the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55, Bigly, USA. Then we're going to head on over to Limaland Motorsports Park for the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. Dirt UMP mods out there on that track. So we're going to have Dirt Street Stocks today, UMP mods today, afterwards, sorry. Asphalt Street Stocks and Wingless Sprints tomorrow, wrapping up the race of the week with the limited late models. That's 42 Josh Roberts back there in the 9th, just inside the top 10. Caution has come out. Alright, let's check telemetry, see if it shows. Alright, looks like Jonathan Foxworth, Travis McDonald involved in that one. There's Jonathan. There's the 32 of Lewis Catalan up front. There's Travis McDonald behind him. So let's have a look at this. Wayne Bridges is there as well. Oh, just a little tap of that nose. A little bit of loss of speed by Jonathan. Loss of momentum there, and Mike M Designs, Travis McDonald, unfortunately getting into contact and turning him around. That will be our 4th yellow flag for the race. Still about 12, 13 laps to go. This track has left the track. We are green, single file restart, lap 23 of 35. Chris Standridge, race leader, Dawson Potter second, Kelly McKellen third, Lewis Catalan and Wayne Bridges battling for that 4th and 5th spot still. Excuse me. horses there. Josh Roberts, Mike Davis. Looks like Brian Andrew tapped the ball as well. And 4th to 10th is quite hotly contested. Oh, it looks like the 72 and the 8 though. Brett Vanderwood and Alan Hunt might have gotten into contact with each other. It doesn't look like the caution's come out from it, as we're still racing with about 8 to go. So we're looking here at 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. Back half of that top 10, 11, 12, 13 positions. So these boys are racing for that. For every spot they get, that's 1 extra point on the leaderboard. So still plenty of opportunities here to go with about 5 remaining. There we go, just 5 to go as Chris comes out of 4 into that front stretch, gets the start finish line. See that on the track map, just 5 to go. We're going to jump up to our leader and just watch the race from there, give him his flowers the last few laps of this race. Oh, it looks like he might have come down a bit low, lost a bit of speed. Dawson wasn't able to go. Oh, he's running the low line here. That track is slick. There is slick everywhere. Look how dark that is. Boys forced to stay down low just to get any sort of bite. Chris toying with the slick a little bit there, right rear up in the slick. Keeps that bottom left. Well, there's both of them in. He's going to get a bit wide there if he does that, loses a little bit of speed. Yellow flag out though. That might have been the most perfect time for a yellow flag for Chris Dandridge. Dawson really working it hard on him there. Jonathan Foxworth looks like he was our driver. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks like the slick just got him. Yep. Just victim of that very dark slick. It's going to be another green-white checkered finish. We have one in the heat racing. Now we're going to have the feature race. Green flag run to get up to speed. White flag run to finish the race. Only question will be, will it be single file? I think it will be. Jonathan Foxworth has retired. So just 14 cars remain in this race. That's Alan Hunt getting a wave round back to the rear of field so he can be on the lead lap. So here's the final chance to better his position to get into some points. Pace truck leaving the track for the last time. Unless there's a caution this lap. Oh, no, they've caught the caution straight away. Wonder why. Oh no, it's green flag. No, now it's yellow. I'm confused. But that doesn't take much. Checking up for the pace truck. All right. After what's been a bit of a significant delay, pace truck is going to leave the track. We're going to get our green-white checkered run in. It says yellow, but I believe this is going to be our green flag run. Okay, it must have been a lap to get up to speed, and then I'm confused. There we go. Now we're at the white flag lap. Standard Dawson Potter, Kelly McKellen, Lewis Catalan, Wayne Bridges. Looks like that will be the top 5 finish here tonight. Lewis Catalan and Wayne Bridges still battling it. They've been battling all race for that 4th and 5th spot, but Lewis is going to hold on to it, it looks like. We'll have to check that in the results as we get to the finish there. Dawson Potter with the quickest last lap. 15.122, no, 15.177, sorry, Wayne Bridges coming in there just slightly quicker. We had 3 retirees in that battle. Josh Roberts, Chad Puttable, Jonathan Foxworth. As we get to our feature results on what was a very slick racetrack. B-Main Bandit, Jonathan Foxworth comes in 15th. Dirt Warrior Racing's Chad Puttable 14th. The J&J Motorsports, Josh Roberts 13th. Fleeger Farms Motorsports, Dan Runkle. The Milkman finished 12th. Alan Hunt in 11th. Yoda Outlaws, Brett Vanderwood in 10th. Travis McDonald 9th. And Yoda Outlaws teammate Brian Angel in 8th. Mike Davis for Modiggy Mafia 7th. Mikey Mixter in 6th. Wayne Bridges 5th. Lewis Catalan in 4th. Modiggy Mafia's Kelly McKellen in 3rd. KHR's very own Dawson Potter in 2nd. But Yoda Outlaws teammate Chris Standridge picks up the victory yet again. Picked up a victory last week. He's in a bit of a winning ways since joining the Yoda Outlaws. So let's get over to the Discord, have a chat. We'll make sure the interview channel is open now rather than halfway through the interview when I realise, or one of you guys tells me. All right, we do see Chris up in the other booth, so we'll just wait for them to finish their convo, and then I'm sure he'll be in the room in a moment. Still to come here tonight, though, the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds, Limaland Motorsports Park. That is up in about 15 minutes, that session will open, so they'll be on our screens in about 20 minutes. Must be having a good old conversation. It's going to move Chris up in points, I believe. Travis McDonald was the points leader, 75 to 73 for Chris Standridge. Now, with Travis McDonald finishing back in 9th, he's going to pick up very few points. Chris Standridge is actually going to pick up 10 points, so that should move him to the championship lead. Should just drag him down. Apparently, he's fencing, according to Discord's chat. All right, Chris still up in the main chat. I did see some of the boys drop down into the admin chat as well, so I'm not sure what's happening here, but we'll just await the interviewee. Send me a Discord message, see if you can, so I don't interrupt whatever chat they're doing. Oh, it updated my Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Not sure. If anyone's in the Discord chat for the KHR and in the audience, any updates? What's happening? Just I've got to go to the little boys' room, and I was going to hold off till my break, but Discord hasn't frozen. No, it's lighting up when I talk. I can highlight things and change channels. Yeah, that hasn't frozen. It freezes on me sometimes. I wonder what the hold off is. Oh, there we go. I don't have the badunks because my streamer mode's activated. But Chris Standridge in the chat. Congratulations, Chris. Look, it's not like you are the winningest sort of driver, winning. What's the phrase? It's not like you're not an accomplished driver, but geez, this move to Yoda Outlaws has paid dividends for you. 2 wins in as many races. You had the B main win last week in the I think it was the late models. And now carrying that momentum into the dirt street stocks here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 with the qualifying quick time, the heat win, the feature start, and then some great battles up the front with Kelly McKellen and Dawson Potter. I don't know where to start. Geez, that track. What did someone pour oil on the turns, or did a blind man prepare it? How did it slicken up so fast?
No, it's always like this. I mean,
I was
just
safe.
every time we've ever run it,
Yeah.
you just don't always notice it as much.
Because I was looking there and I noticed we'd cut back to you. I wanted to check out your sort of run. We'd sort of looking around the track and we cut back to you and I think it was like it would have been 3 and 4 because of the track's inverted, so to speak. The north part of the track's where the start finish line is instead of the southern portion, which we're more used to. But you were coming through and it looked like you misjudged the infield sort of and we're right down there on the wall. And I was like, oh shit, maybe he's just turned down too hard. And then that's when I noticed that there was about 4 car widths of slick in each turn, and the only bit of bite was really right down in that wall. What's it like driving low down here? Is that something that does the track sort of, did it suit? It didn't look comfortable. That's all I could tell.
No, I mean, yeah, it's slick as can be. This is the only track on here I've actually driven in real life, and it gets like this. I mean, in real life too, it's at the end of the night. Most of the time, cars are right down there. The late models are literally scruffing their noses on the wall there. So it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it looked like a tough track, and I don't know. It's just I don't know if we've just not raced. I like to call it FAPRA at I-55. But it's not like I don't know if we must have enough gaps between our schedules at I-55 that it's just something. It just completely caught me off guard. I was just sort of watching it and guys were setting. Probably not even setting enough for the turns normally, and the slick would still just grab that rear and say, hey, we're going to take it all the way around for you, or hey, we're going to wash off about 20 miles per hour of speed instantly, and the guys behind them having nowhere to sort of go but into them, things like that. We saw a few guys uncharacteristically sort of further back down the track. Josh Roberts, Chad Putterball, any of those guys, Alan Hunt, Brett Vanderwood, Travis McDonald, Brian Angel, that back was like maybe about from fourth to about eighth to 10th. Was very competitive, but once again, like we say each week, it's sort of each guy in the lead of those battles has to thank the guy 2 cars back because they're the ones that held the car up, challenging them. Not so much for you and Dawson and Kelly. You seem to have a pretty comfortable 3-4 tenths gap. Do you liken that to the fact that a lot of these guys do tend to go up a bit higher, and that low line was sort of the main run, and that sort of took them off their game a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, this track's. See, the thing is, like we usually run late models here or the modifieds, and they're a little. They got the big fat tires. They're a little more forgiving on the slick. So usually, like towards the end of the race, there I would have moved up a little bit. When it's all slick like that, about the middle of the track, when you got those big fat tires, it's a little more forgiving, and you can get away with it. But with these things, you had to have the moisture. So it was either run the very, very top, and I think a couple of guys might have been able to pull something off up there, but just generally it was just trying to keep it smooth on the bottom there. Dawson might have been faster.
He was. He
was.
Yeah.
There wasn't anywhere to go around there. So, well, and I was really babying it a lot too because I didn't want to do something stupid like spin out.
Yeah, no, he was about.
If he got around me, I might have pushed it a little harder. I don't know. So.
Yeah, about 2 tenths was the average sort of the difference, but that 2 tenths a lot of the time, you know, we speak about it. Sort of, I've joked that I could record this line and just play it whenever we need it. But race speed, you know, like that 2 tenths, that's 5 tenths to 2 tenths, that's 3 tenths that you close in. That's a lot of you guys out there have more than enough skill to do so. It's just having that extra speed or sort of run to get that extra 2 tenths, to get that extra sort of run to get past them afterwards. I saw there was a bit there early in the race where it really was just a bit of bad luck timing. It looked like Kelly got past you, but you were sort of setting up for the run to get straight back past him, and then the caution came out, and that sort of gave him that start. But the next start obviously didn't go his way, and both you and Dawson were able to get by him. And I think that's when that slick might have first started to really come in a bit earlier than the guys expected. But no, it was a good. I was sort of comparing it to last week's race where it was very racy, and I think it was extremely racy compared like one-on-one competition wise tonight, but not racy as in obviously those long green flag competitive runs, things like that. But you guys, yeah, geez, I feel like that track was a 16th competitor out there with how fast it just went away. The heat 1 was quite tacky looking, but then heat 2 and 3 looked like they were just mini features in terms of the battles that were going on out there. It was crazy to watch. Now off to Limaland Motorsports Park, I believe, next for the UMP Modifieds. Another vehicle you're not exactly a slouch in. Do we feel like we can carry this momentum and potentially go back to back?
I don't know. We were kind of trying them out a little bit earlier, and they are really loose. And I think it's just gonna be a matter of not wrecking or spinning yourself out or something like that. It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, race yourself, stay patient, just hit your marks and hope for the best. It's going to be a good battle. As we say, Sunday nights rarely fails to put on exciting races. This one not. Well, I can't remember how I was going to finish that sentence, but this one obviously not failing to disappoint in that regard. There's a lot of good stuff going on, And look, I know you guys don't like to crash, caution to Saki, but that's what some of the viewers are here. We're here to see the contact. We're here to see the mayhem as well. So, no, I think a good race overall. Congratulations. You got to watch out, Dawson. I can't every week. We've got to mention him. This is it's 2 weeks, 2 wins. So we've challenged him to go for a third week of this racing week for a third win, and second place. He's really putting the notice on you guys back there as well. That's so good to see.
I was nervous. I won't lie. When I could sneak down and look at the relative to see if he was gaining or losing on me or anything, it's the problem was this track was so short. Every time I would do it, I kind of slide out to the side.
Yeah. No, definitely the way I do the same in pretty much any racing game where you try and sort of have a look at your telemetry, you want to have a look at the track map or the relative or whatever, and it depends on which corner I think it is in, and you just sort of lean that way with the steering a little bit, and it can be very interesting at times. But congratulations, man, good racing. Session's just about to open for the KP Plumbing UMP Modified, so I'll let you go so you can stretch your legs, check in with the crew chief, see what she thought of the race. And all of that sort of stuff. Best of luck with the UMP Modifieds. Obviously, we'll have you back in the booth anytime we can. That part's up to you. But before we let you go, and speaking to the big boss woman, friends, family, and sponsors, who do you need to give shout outs to?
Oh yeah, shout out to the wife letting me do this, of course, and then shout out to the Yoda boys. I think you're right. I think working with them's got me a little bit better, so it's been good fun racing with them. So shout out to Wayne and Josh and all the guys who throw up the races and everything. They're a lot of fun every week. So.
It's been a great thing to see this partnership, and I think if prior to Yoda Outlaws, if there was anything in your game that you were missing, I think someone would probably look at it and go, look, there possibly is. Can't quite tell what it is, and I can't tell what it is that the Yoda Outlaws have fulfilled in that respect. Whether it sometimes it's just a good bunch of blokes that just put you at ease, or just give you a different sort of outlook, and it could just be just that different. And like I say, look, I'm confident you could still be up here with the Outcast name or any other name, but Yoda's really, it's a good colour on you, my man. It seems to be working out really well, so congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, brother, I will let you go. We'll see you on our screens in about 10 minutes. Best of luck with the UMPs.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, mate. Bye. All right, that was Chris Standridge, our winner here in the Knuckleheadz iRacing League's recent Monument Dirt Street Stocks. Sip chat play in the Twitch chat. Okay, here we go. We're here. This is the end of the first race. We've still got one more to go, Daz, so good timing. We're just going to chuck over to our intro screen while we get the next race up, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, racers.
Make that 5. Make that 5-ish.
Ladies and gentlemen, racers, fans, and friends around the world, tonight we do things a little different, because tonight isn't about Knuckleheadz racing. It's not about the cars or the checkered flag. It's not even about the drivers strapped in, ready to battle. Tonight, it's about one man, a legend with a microphone, the voice that brought dirt track racing to life. Bob or Nathan, as some call him, our mate from the land down under. For years, Bob has been the heartbeat of these races, calling every lap, every slide job, every heart-stopping moment. And when he's not on the mic, well, we imagine him chasing snakes through the outback, boxing kangaroos, or just sitting under a gum tree with a cup of tea and some fairy bread with sprinkles. He's got the accent that keeps us guessing, the words that make us laugh, and the passion that makes him family, Bob. Tonight, this is your night. This one's for you. He's the man with the mic from the land of the sun, where the kangaroos jump and the wild runs. From the bush to the booth, he brought the heat, calling dirt track battles from seat to seat. Here's to Bob, yeah, the voice we all know, calling every slide, every high side show, from Australia's dust to our hometown clay. Bob, tonight this is your day. Fairy bread dreams and a slang so sweet, he'll make you laugh right out of your seat. Maybe boxing kangaroos or chasing snakes, but when he's on the mic, man, the earth shakes. Here's to Bob, yeah, the voice we all know, calling every slide, every high side show, from Australia's dust to our hometown clay. Bob, tonight this is your day. Every lap, every cheer, every turn in the night, you gave dirt track racing its soul, its light. Not just a friend, your family too. Bob, this song is just for you. Here's to Bob, yeah, the legend we know, calling every slide, every wild show, from the land down under to the Knucklehead crew. Bob, tonight we race for you. From all of us here at Knuckleheadz Racing, thank you for every lap, every word, and every year you've given us. This one's for you, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, racers, fans, and friends around the world, tonight we do things a little different, because tonight isn't about Knuckleheadz racing. It's not about the cars or the checkered flag. It's not even about the drivers strapped in, ready to battle. Tonight, it's about one man, a legend with a microphone, the voice that brought dirt track racing to life. Bob or Nathan, as some call him, our mate from the land down under. For years, Bob has been...
Alright, BobbethTV is back. You know what that means? One more episode of Mud Build TV to come. This time we're jumping over to Lima, USA. KB Plumbing UMP Modifieds. Do UMP Modifieds here at Limaland Motorsports Park. They're currently out there in practice. Find my cams. So we'll throw over to the leaderboard. Foxworth with a quick time. Looks like 14 drivers registered in this race. A quick time 12.491. The other in 13 at 3:06. Alan Hunt. Just going to take a quick break and leave you with this practice session. So enjoy the driving, and I'll be back soon. right, we are back. About 2 minutes left in practice before we get over to the qualifying for our last of two races here today. We started off with the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks won by Chris Standridge, 22 driver from Yoda Outlaws. He is 11th quickest out in the UMPs, 12.683. B-Main Bandit Jonathan Foxworth has quick time 12.491. Ken McLean 12.549 and 12.551 for Chad Porterball. Brian Angel with a 12.574 and Mike Davis 12.578. A lot of quick close times still. Travis McDonald, Josh Roberts 12.619 and 12.622. 12.649 and 12.655. Door supporter Brett Vanderwood with a 12.660. Lewis Catalan in there as well in 10th spot. We mentioned Chris is 12.683, 12.711, 12.772, and 13.010. Wayne Bridges, Kelly McKellen, Alan Hunt rounding out the rest of the practice times. All right, just a minute to go. The guys got to run, get a drink, stretch their legs, get everything ready. All right, we are into our qualifying session. Let's see who is going to actually secure quick time. Lewis Catalan, one of the first guys out on the track. Josh Roberts there in the 42. Ken McLean has quick time 12.506, 12.535. Travis McDonald 12.595. Brian Angel, Josh Roberts with 12.678 as he gets his quick time there. Chris Standridge with 12.715 though gets pushed out of that spot top 5 though as Chad Porterball rocks up with a 12.545. Well, those qualifying times quickly put in, only a minute 40 in, and I think we're all qualified. 30 seconds to go. All drivers have qualified. Going to be Kent McLean, Travis McDonald, Chad Putterby, Brian Angel, Dawson Potter, the top 5 quickest. 6 to 10, Josh Roberts, Chris Standridge, Brent Vanderwood, Jonathan Foxworth, and Wayne Bridges. Final 4 spots, 11 to 14th, Mike Davis, Kelly McKellen, Alan Hunt, Lewis Catalan. As we checkered flag our qualifying run, we're going to get into our last lot of heat races for the night. Should be 3 heat races, 2 5-car heats, 1 4-car heat, before we get to our final main event of the night. Steady cams, so it's got the traditional cams at the output day. It's going to be Kent McLean and Brian Angel front row. Brian Angel's teammate Chris Standridge and Wayne Bridges second row. Alan Hunt on that third and final row. Let's see what the time's on the leaderboard. Let's change that to gap and gain. There we go. Pace truck to leave the track in just a moment. There it goes. We're going to get this one started. This is heat 1 of the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. Kent McLean of KP Plumbing is our race starter. Brian Angel alongside him, Chris Standridge and Wayne Bridges behind them, with Alan Hunt on that third and final row, of course. Chris Standridge getting a little bit bogged in there. Have to take the long way around. He's really fighting the car. Oof. Coming close to teammate there. Oh no, that's Alan Hunt. That's not Brian Angel. Brian Angel up there in second, challenging Kent McLean. Sort of shiny car, I just assumed that he's got the black with the shiny. Does it Brian Angel at the back half this race? Six lap heat races here for KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds. Limaland at the Motorsports Park. You watch out for those infield tyres. 2 to come. White flag lap. This will be the last heat race, last lap of heat 1, Bob, is what I was trying to say. There it is, checkered flag for Kent McLean, who will take the victory in heat 1. Let's get our results up. Course in 5th place, privateer Wayne Bridges, Alan Hunt in 4th, Yoda Outlaws teammates Chris Standridge and Brian Angel lock in the 3rd and 2nd spots, but Kent McLean will take victory in heat 1. Travis McDonald, Dawson Potter, heat 2, front row, Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis, 2nd row, and Lewis Catalan, sorry, 3rd row. I was just trying to get those cameras sorted. They wouldn't do it. All right, let's have a quick look at the point situation as well, see who will be going at rear of field this week. All right, last week's winner was Jonathan Foxworth, Kent McLean, our points leader. So looks like Kent won't be starting on that front row. It'll be the winner of Heat 3, taking out our pole position start by the looks of this. Again, Travis McDonald, Dawson Potter, front row. Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis, Lewis Catalan, second row, Lewis Catalan, 3rd row. This is heat 2. This is to see who will start on the outside line. off and racing. Let's get a page on the screen there. Travis McDonald, the 88 off to a great start with Dawson Potter in second, Brett Vanderwood third, Mike Davis and Lewis Catalan fourth and fifth. Heat 2 battle, not a lot of track work done, so Dawson really against the 8 ball here, but he is going to try and make it work as we welcome Staggering Joiner weird random numbers and letters into the chat with his crap that we'll just get rid of in a moment. Sometimes the bot will pick it up, other times the bot's like, oh wow, we've got another chatter, yeah. So we'll just fix that up here in a second. There we go. Oh, end of the race. I was like, oh, Dawson got the win there with the turn, but no. Heat 2's results are as follows. Jed Atlas, Brett Vanderwood in fifth. Motorsports Modifieds, Mike Davis fourth. Lewis Catalan finished in third. KHR's Dawson Potter in second, but Travis McDonald takes out the Heat 2 victory. Heat 3 is going to be a 4-car field. Chad Puterball, Josh Roberts front row, Jonathan Foxworth and Kelly McKellen on that second and final row. Alright, here we go. Heat 3. Pace trucks left the track. They're going to come up and start finish like get this one underway. Chad Puterball, Josh Roberts, Jonathan Foxworth, Kelly McKellen. Chad off to a good start. Looks like the B-Man Bandit. Jonathan Foxworth's going to challenge Josh. Oh, but he's going to get those infield tyres. We did say you had to watch out for them. It will lift that front end, and if your front end stops contacting the ground, you can't exactly control the direction you're travelling in. I believe with the EOLs, Chad Puterball is going to secure pole position if he can keep this run up. Jonathan Foxworth must have had some damage, gone from yellow to a black flag. Around for the final time through 3 and 4. Chad Puterball here is going to secure the Heat 3 victory. Our Heat racing is done for the night. Just one more feature race. Let's get to those results. Jonathan Foxworth, the B-Main Bandit in fourth. Motorsports Modifieds, Kelly McKellen third. J&J Motorsports, Josh Roberts in second. The Chad Puterball for Dirt Warrior Racing at DWR get the Heat 3 victory. All right, the grid for this one, our feature race. It will be Chad Puterball and Travis McDonald front row. Dawson Potter and Brian Angel second row. Third row, Chris Standridge and Josh Roberts. Fourth row, Kelly McKellen and Lewis Catalan. Fifth row, Mike Davis and Alan Hunt. Sixth row will be Wayne Bridges and Brett Vanderwood. Seventh row will be Jonathan Foxworth and Kent McLean. jacket's a little cold. Oh, it's right there. I brought it in with me, but I just didn't put it on. Good effort, Bob. Oh, that's better. Oof. Trucks Let's Track boys going to get this 35 a lap. Main event started at Limaland at Motorsports Park. This is the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds, our second of two main events. Chad put off to a great start, but caution out already. Looks like the 99, the 92 caught up with each other. A little bit of everything. 92, 95, 75, 29. Let's have a look, see how that played out. Checked up the 99, got hit by the 92, the 29 and the 75, not able to avoid the 92. That's our first caution. Alright, here we go, lap 4 back underway, lap 5 of 35 KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds, the UMP Modifieds here at Limaland Motorsports Park, back underway. Travis McDonald dangerously close to turning. Chad put a ball there, tried to check up, got into the 44, I think that was also Josh Roberts. Looks like we're going to keep it going green though, I'm not sure. Well, I see a few cars falling back down through the field, the 88, the 22, the 8. A hard time getting this one back under racing conditions. We'll just leave it up the front as they reset. Off we go again, lap 4:35. The 88, Brett Benwood, Travis McDonald still in the pits. As this 12 car field continues into the opening stages of the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds main event here at Limaland Motorsports Park for Knuckleheadz iRacing League. Still got 3 races to go. Oh, Chad pushed all the way up the track with that when it bogged out there. No real fault of anyone's, just the car did not stick and he had to get out of the way or it was going to be a big crash. He has fallen all the way back to about 6th place there, 8th now. As Ken McLean is our race leader. Caution out though. McKellen. There he is there, the 48. Let's watch him. Lewis Catalan behind him. Oh, a little bit of contact between him and Lewis there. Let's just put them back up and put them both up into the wall. 48 getting the worst of it. go. Ken McLean, our race started. Josh Roberts, Brian Angel, Wayne Bridges, Mike Davis, the 5. Chad Woodball, Chris Stanridge, Alan Hunt, John Foxworth, and Dawson Potter with the 6 to 10. Kelly McKellen, Lewis Catalan, Travis McDonald, Brett Vanwood, the 11 to 14. Brendan Lockmore in the chat. How's it going? It's going well, my friend. How are you going? Hope that you are well and out there racing as much as you can. Football trying to race his way back into that top 5 run. He's in 6th spot at the moment. Mike Davis in the top 5 spot just ahead of him. You can see a 4th, 3rd and 2nd as well. He's also got Chris Standish behind him, John Foxworth, Alan Hunt, Dawson Potter. 13 of 35. Mad Dog trying to hold on to that top 5 spot. My head on his car, giving him that little bit extra push. A bit heavy, so that gives him a little bit extra bite. That head of mine. Crash there, the 99 and the 20 affected by it. Well, that was after the yellow flag though. Can't quite see what brought the yellow out. Chris Standish, Mike Davis also in the pits. So you can see that. No. Check this one out. We'll check it out from here. Keeping an eye on Chris Standridge. The 22 and the 90. The 20 and the 90 got into each other. That's right. Chris hit the 20. That is what brought our caution out. That is, of course, caution number. Let's count 1, 2, 3. That's our 4th caution for our feature race here tonight. Almost at the halfway mark of this battle. Get racing again. Watching the racing here, should be calling it. I apologise. I was just sort of enthralled by it a little bit there, just watching this battle between Dawson and Alan Hunt. Alan getting a little bit loose there. Travis McDonald having to avoid him. 48 to 32 up high, or the 32 and the 88. A little bit of contact. Lewis Catalan, Travis McDonald. Caution has come out. I think Lewis Catalan did officially crash there in that contact, so that will bring out our latest caution, lap 23 of 35. lined up again. It's going to be looks Ken McLean, Josh Roberts, Brian Angel, Wayne Bridges, Dawson Potter, Alan Hunt, Kelly McKellen, Travis McDonald, Chris Standish, Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis, Luke Catalan. The remaining field. Jonathan Foxworth and Chad Putterball both in the pits. No, both have retired. Both have popped their cars on the trailer. And we'll be watching via the big screens as we get lap 23 back underway. Still 13 laps to come. Cars remain in this 12 lap battle. 12 laps, 12 cars. Now it's 11, 25 and 35 in. Ken McLean, our race leader, Josh Roberts second, Brian Angel currently third. Wayne Bridges and Dawson Potter rounding out the fourth and fifth positions. Alan Hunt, Kellen McCann, Travis McDonald, Chris Standish, Brett Vanderwood, the 6 to 10. 11 to 12, Mike Davis and Lewis Catalan. 48, Kellen McCann getting caught a bit high up in the wall there. Yellow is out. Oh, I called it. I saw Kelly in the background getting a bit high on the wall. He's the one that's come up on the telemetry. Let's have a look here. There's the wall contact almost. Oh, a little bit of contact there with the 22, and that spins him out. 99. Oh, barely avoids him. Holy cow. All right, we're off and racing again. Lap 27 is about to end. Lap 28, 7 remain. Ken McLean, our race leader. Brian Angel and Wayne Bridges side by side. Josh Roberts, Dawson Potter, 4th and 5th. Alan Hunt, Travis McDonald, Kelly McCallum, Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis, Lewis Catalan, Chris Standish, remainder of the field. Go around the track for the last time, just unless it's cautions and things. Chad Putterball, probably more time to retire, boys. Good luck. UMP's not working out for Chad here tonight, but at least he's retired just from the division. He's got a bunch of other other cars. He is quite a beast in, so nothing to panic about there. Chad watching from the sidelines. 32 to 35. 3 laps remain as we get into the very dying stages. All the 32, Lewis Catalan, black flag in the pits. He's going to fall back to 12. Brett Vanderwood's going to move up into 11. 11 cars remain on this track. Ken McLean, Brian Angel, Wayne Bridges, the top 3. Interest to 1 and 2, quite slicky, but not as slick as the previous race. I think the UMPs would rip up a track a lot more than dirt street stocks, but there you go. We've got the last run down that front stretch for the checkered flag. Ken McLean will take victory here at Limaland Motorsports Park. I think I call it Lima and then Limaland or Lima. I don't know. Pronunciation's a funny thing. Anthony Carp, thanks for the like, Tony. Appreciate you, brother. All right, let's get our results up for the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds here at Limaland Motorsports Park. The BMA Bannerman, Jonathan Foxworth, will finish in 14th. DWR Dirt Warrior Racing's champ put a ball in 13th. My mouth just didn't want to say those words. The UCPD in the chat. Good weekend. Probably have a rig for sale soon. Where did we get to? Lewis Catalan in 12th. Yoda Outlaws, Brent Vanwood, Chris Standridge picked up 11th and 10th. Modig Mafia's Mike Davis 9th. Alan Hunt in 8th. Kelly McKellen for Modig Mafia in 7th. KHR's Dawson Potter in 6th. Then we get our top 5. Travis McDonald, J&J Motorsports, Josh Roberts 4th. Wayne Bridges from the Wayne's World Arse Racing Series tomorrow night live on BobbethTV in 3rd. That was a mouthful. Yoda Outlaws teammate Brian Angel took out the 2nd place spot, but Bad Motorsports at Kent McLean picks up the victory here tonight. So we'll jump up to the Discord. We'll get ourselves all ready for a bit of a lark with him. Bit of a chat. The interview label on this one, we do. All right, we've got Kent McLean. Did the Chris Standridge run. Chris Standridge earlier tonight in the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks fastest in qualifying. Won his heat, qualified pole, and just went from there. Only you did it a little bit differently. You went to the rear of field first. And then had to race all the way from the back. Now, a few cautions, but what I looked at in the replays, they look like racing dealers and sort of unavoidable things. But was that the sort of the method of making your way out, was just sort of avoid those wrecks and just sort of get those spots every time a caution came out, sort of take your time? What was the process to get to the front?
Yeah, a lot of it was just pray for cautions and hope to pick up a couple spots per caution. So, because I mean, I'm pretty comfortable at this track and these cars. So I knew if I could pick off at least a few during the caution, that would just help out.
And it looked like it worked out that way. A couple of times you might have had to fight for a spot. There's a few bit of battles in the middle there all night. Actually, for the last couple of weeks, that sort of 4th to 8th, 4th to 9th spot's really such a... you've really got to pay mind as you're moving up through those positions in terms of those battles and things like that. It looks very competitive. When we look at the qualifying times, when we look at the end of the race sort of times, you know, there's usually tenths of a second between those positions. Like, yeah, we can sort of see there, Josh Roberts, if we use how far behind you were as the gauge, 2.4 seconds, 2.57 for 5th, 2.6 for Dawson in 6th. Yeah, there really wasn't much in between those. I think it's that middle battle that's really, if you can get through that, then yeah, you got to be top 3. But it's not a matter of when, it's a matter of if. In a lot of these races, just because of how tough that competition is there in the middle. Now, in saying that, look, we look at the UMP points. Obviously, you were our points leader. You went to the rear field because of that. But that's an 11-point lead coming into tonight's competition. Now, picking up that 10 points, obviously, with the win. Travis McDonald, about 4 spots back in 5th. So the gap's not going to get, like, you know, up to 21 points. But it's certainly going to be at least 2 races. And with only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races to go in the season, and this being your 4th win, I think that's the most anyone's won in this competition. You've got to feel comfortable. I know we've spoken about this in the past. Obviously, you guys all, as a part of the Knuckleheadz behind-the-scenes team, you know, you've put these divisions together, KP Plumbing, UMP Modifieds. People may not know this, but this is your division. So I know Josh, obviously, street stocks, that's the dirt street stocks, you know, he wants to take out a championship in those. It's I don't want to put the black ball on you now with 8 weeks to go, but you've got to feel pretty confident with this one.
Yeah, as long as I, stay consistent, I should, fingers crossed, have this in the bag. But I'm not counting any of these guys out. So I know I will miss at least one weekend coming up in December. But trying to say it's consistent enough where I can build this lead where I don't have to worry about it. So
yeah.
You know, when I come back, it'll still be, you know, I've still got to do, you know, race and at least do good to finish out the championship. But yeah.
Yeah, no, we're looking at the points. Obviously, so yourself and Travis in first and second, and we've got Jonathan Foxworth, John Roberts, and Dawson, and all of those guys all sort of finish in that mid to back part of the pack. So yeah, definitely, I think it's going to be one of those situations where when you come back from that break, it'll be a situation where it's each race counts. You know, it'll be that 5 to 10 point gap that you'll have, and you know, be one of those situations where we'll, you know, the winner will want you to be as further down the field as possible to sort of bring that home. But look, at the same time, mathematically, we do see it a lot, and especially in the more popular or more contested competitions, where it comes down to the championship race. You know, so um, it's sort of it's building where it could go either way. At the moment, you do have an extra. You know, you can take the week off and not worry about losing that race lead, but that you're going to need to use that, you know, as you say, in December. It's not like a luxury; it's just a necessity. Um, so before that, though, we've still got what? We've still got Port Royal and Kokomo, possibly Lanier, depending on my time. That's at 21. Yeah, no, Lanier may be the first week of December. I'm not sure, but yeah, Port Royal and Kokomo. Obviously, you've still got to do well in those two races before you have that break to keep that run going. Track didn't. So the slick really really came in the dirt street stocks, but I'm told that Federated Auto Parts does that. Uh, this one, looking at the track now, I can see it on the screen. Entrance to 1 and 2, but really the end of the straightaway on the start finish line to sort of almost the apex of 1 and 2 got really super slick, but the slick didn't really seem to form much elsewhere. Now I thought the UMPs would have ripped Limaland up a little bit. Is that just something that happens? Is the track good like that, where it's like it'll leave you, I guess, an extra line with the tackiness and the slick not coming in as fast, or was it just as really competitive on entry to 1 and 2? What was? Do you know what sort of caused that? It looks very weird on the track.
I think it's just how it wore in. Because you know, I've seen this track where it's you literally had maybe a half a car to possibly a car on the bottom that still had moisture, and then basically from about a car up, 2 cars from the bottom, all the way up to the middle was just dry slick. And then usually like 3 and 4 in the mid would, you know, it'd still be tacky there. I think it's just how it wore in with the cars, how everybody was, what you know, what lines they were running. Um, I was honestly expecting the bottom to give up a lot sooner than it did. It really didn't ever give up. Um, I think Josh, if he wouldn't have gotten that wall, we'd have had a
Mm.
heck of a race. But yeah, I was anticipating that bottom going away, and it never did. I kept watching the relative, and I kind of held my own. I was like, well, I'm just going to stay down here where I'm comfortable, you know, until I start seeing them really close in on me. Then I'm going to try something else. So.
Yeah. No, the cameras were just panning through the turns as you were talking about it, and yeah, there's like this really tiny little line of slick where there's literally enough room for you to run that low line, or even the mid line where you know you get that right rear above the slick line in the little bit of tackier stuff, and the high line was completely open. It was, yeah, as I say, just completely polar opposites to Federated Auto Parts Raceway, where it just looked like you know, it was literally by the start of the feature, you know, 5 laps into that feature, and there was just you really had to watch how you set the street stock, and then the UMPs, they were just like, no, we're going to fling clay and mud everywhere tonight, which you know we love as well. It allows it's why when I was saying before about the how close all that midfield mid pack racing was, that's where it comes from. It's just, you know, there was all relative battles and side by sides, and you know, literally what line you pick sort of really laid into that, which obviously is how racing works. But when there's more than one line to take, and there's, you know, and they're both not the wrong line, it really does create some good racing. All right, where are we off to tomorrow? We've got the Wayneswater Arse Racing series and the Shorelight non-wing series. Asphalt street stocks up first, and then the wingless sprint type variety. Off to Lincoln tomorrow. Now, you're a little bit out of the points battle in that one because obviously we don't get to see you too much those nights. I remember as I start saying that. But if the weather or conditioning does allow us, we hope to see you on the track tomorrow night. If not, obviously we know we'll see you in the audience. What's the expectation?
Tomorrow I'll have volleyball, so
Volleyball, yeah.
I will be watching from the phone, rooting these guys on. So.
We love having you in the audience. And then obviously, yeah, wrapping it up at the end of the racing week with the Motor International Limited Late Models, which has been another fun competition. Where are you in that one? You're back in ninth, but yeah, not obviously you don't race, sort of go in spurts there. It's sort of a couple of races on, couple of races off, couple of races on, couple of races off, but just inside the top 10 with a couple of victories. So, you know, obviously, if there were drop weeks or if we just looked at what the points would be like if we just calculated the races you won in those divisions, you would be obviously a lot further up the field. So it's more circumstance than racing that sort of got you where you're going. But yeah, UMP Modifieds, keep playing UMP Modifieds. You're firmly in your hands at the moment. As I say, keep building that consistent run until that race off in December, and then come back and finish strong. And I feel like we might be talking to our first KP Plumbing UMP Modified champion.
I sure hope so.
Well, look, congratulations on tonight. Best of luck with everything over the next 2 months of racing. 8 weeks still to come. So yeah, still a bit to go. It's we sort of eight races. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It's about what, at least 240 green flag laps per division. 5 times that by 5, so still over 1,000 laps to run before the end of the season, any season. So that's a lot of racing. So I'm glad I'm in the booth and not out on that track trying to lock in all those green flag lap runs. But best of luck. We'll let you go. Before we do, though, man, friends, family, sponsors, who do you need to give a shout out to?
The wife and kids for letting me do this. KP Plumbing Services, John, my teammate with Band Motorsports, you, Bob, for the broadcast, all the admins and the guys at KHR that, put on a good show week in, week out. I want to give a special congratulations to Wayne. He raced his butt off tonight, and I saw that he come up to third. But yeah, that's about it.
No, Wayne was up there. He had a lot of defense battles. I think he spent pretty much, I'd near say 80% of his race defending a spot. And he did great. He did awesome to hold on and keep moving up. Like, I think he started, I saw it mostly around that top 5 or 6 position. Just sort of, I think it was top 5. He was keeping the rest of the top 6 and back out of the top 5. And for him to still do that and race his way up into a podium finish, yeah, congratulations. Top effort. All right, my man.
Yeah, he did.
You enjoy the rest of your night. Good luck with the family at volleyball. Hope you can keep up the winning ways. We'll see you in the audience, no doubt. And the next time we have you on the screens, we'll have you back in the booth as soon as you can. That part, obviously, in your control. But until then, my man, best of luck and congratulations.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. All right, that was Ken McLean, our winner here tonight. He joins Chris Stanridge for the Sunday night US Monday morning edition, Monday morning Australian edition of Mud Mule TV, exclusively on BobbethTV, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. As our 2 winners, the Reece Monument Dirt Street Stocks, Chris Stanridge, the KP Plumbing UMP Modifieds, Kent McLean. You had Outlaws and Band Motorsports picking up the wins team-wise. All right, tomorrow night, the Wayne's World Arse Racing Series, Asphalt Street Stocks, and of course the Shula Non-Wing Racing Series. Join us tomorrow night around 11:30 US, Australian. I'm not sure what time that is US. I think it's 8:30 American. AM, AEST, US. Yeah, I think it's 8:30 or 9:30. I'm not sure. But just like us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and you'll be notified when we are live. Thank you so much for coming out, Harper. Appreciate you. Chad Woodwell says, great win, Kent. Want to buy another rig? No, you're not. No, Chad. Obviously, UCPD 724. Thank you for being in the audience. Brandon Lockmore. Who else we had? Dan Runkle Sip Chat play as well in regards to the likes and shares Dawson, Potter, Josh Roberts, Kelly McKellen, Dan Runkle, and Anthony Calf. Love you guys. Thank you so much. All right, that wraps up another edition of BobbethTV as we hit the 2-hour mark. You know the drill. My name's Bob. Love yous all. Bye.